It was big. We had to kill a few penalties early on, but you know, fortunately they hit a crossbar that could have turned the game around and given them a 1-0 lead. And then they had a few chances that, fortunately for me, it seemed to hit my shoulders or just hit me in the right spot at the right time. But you know, they've got some good talent. They were moving the puck really well and taking some good shots early on. And then we got our legs going, got a goal, and really, you know, played well after that.
Marty, what were you thinking coming in today after Friday?
I wasn't thinking about a whole lot of things different than, you know, you got to play a solid game. You got to, you know, play hard on the shooter and, you know, really know that they got a smart offensive hockey team that everybody's going to have to play well and communicate in the defensive zone. I didn't really think a whole lot about game one just because, you know, it's over. And then same thing you got to during game 3 is forget about game 1 and 2 and really start with a clean slate, and that's what you got to do.
How much more comfortable were you out there tonight after having Friday's game under your belt?
Well, I was comfortable early on because we took the 1-0 lead, and you know, then going up 2-0, it definitely makes you a little bit more comfortable to be able to play your game and know that you can challenge a little bit, and sometimes maybe make a few mistakes and still you know, be able to battle hard and try to make some saves. And killing the penalties, I mean, you know, you're up to 0, it's different. You got a big penalty to kill, but everybody feels a little bit looser out there and more, you know, focus on what the job is to do, and that was a big thing for us.
Marty's strategy coming into this to be more aggressive and try to cover.
No, it wasn't. It was the same thing. I mean, you got to be at the top of my crease, yes, and sometimes you got to go a little deeper to read the plays and the backdoor passes and all of that. But I think we did a great job taking away a lot of the shots. You know, they're big weapons, especially when we were in the Valley Kill, got in front of a lot of pucks out there, or made them pass it around instead of shooting, and that's something we did well.
How about your first win off your shoulders first game?
It's good, especially to tie it up in the series and go back home. You know, I think it's, everybody always say you want to split going on the road in the first 2 games, but we felt like we played really well on the road, and now we just got to carry that away.
John said that you and Ray, you watched quite a bit of tape and some of their tendencies. What were you able to see in the video in order to kind of correct it tonight's game?
Not so much. You know, it was all of it. We know both teams know each other really well. I mean, you got we played 4 games against one another. We got all the tapes down the stretch, and they probably do of us too. So you know what they're going to do, but. I mean, when you get the quality offensive player that they do, you know, sometimes they're going to get their shot, they're going to get their chances, and they're going to get their goals. It's about trying to rebound after a game like the other night. Even though we felt we played pretty well, we gave them a little bit more room in the 3rd period, and they took advantage of it.
Marty, do you think Ovechkin was trying to send a message with that high, hard one?
No, they have a bunch of guys on that team that are really gifted offensively. And they come in, they take some hard shots, and they take high shots, low shots, they just whatever they feel they get. And you know, I've seen a lot of highlights of their goals, and a lot of them are crossbarring in and posting in. I mean, they're so gifted that you just got to try to make yourself as big as possible. And if it hits your shoulder, it'd be great. You know, and that's basically what you got to do.
Did you think anything of when someone hit the post that next game?
Yeah, I think it was early in the 2nd period, you know. At first, yeah, that one, then there was one in the 2nd period, too, where the puck goes off the end board and comes back to a wide-open guy on the short side, and he pulls it right off the post. You know, those are breaks that we got in the game, and that's what you got to have in the playoffs.
Marty, after your first
game, like your guys, or anything like that, it's, you know, we went to practice yesterday. We felt like we did a good job at game 1. We just, they're gifted, and they're going to get their goals sometimes. And, you know, we just got to stick with the plan and the system. But we went to practice yesterday, and it was a good practice. Got a lot of pucks, a lot of angle shots for me, and it made me feel good in that and to come in this afternoon.
How about you guys to go home having to split games 1 and 2?
It feels big. I mean, for us to be able to go in our building, but again, I think we played some really good hockey on the road this year. So to be able to get some momentum going home is great. But you know, that team is going to think the way we thought coming in is playing hard, and they want to come in our building and you know, be aggressive and physical and all of that. It's for us to respond when we go back in.
Marty, after your first ever playoff game didn't go the way you wanted. How much different does a win feel?
I mean, it's like down the stretch when we were you know, battling for the playoffs. After a big win, we felt like we were really excited, and you know, the atmosphere was really high, and then when we lost in a couple games down the stretch, it felt like the next morning everybody was low, but you got to be able to be consistent. And yesterday I felt everybody had a good jump in their stride and practice, and that was what we needed. Now it's the same thing. We just got to stay consistent, you know, and really focus and build on that first win in the series. But we got to stay, you know, consistent in our emotion because it's going to be hard on the inside.
You feel like you had anything personal to prove today?
It's about playing the game, not about anything personal. You know, that's what we got to do as players and as a team.
You had the sprawling save, I think, in the second where you were on your back and you just collected it in with your arm. You just laid there for a second and like, wow.
Well, I thought I had it, and it bounced out a little bit, and then, you know, it was one of those where you just got to battle and give the effort, and then if it hits you, it hits you, and that, you know, that was a big part of the game because I think at the time, I think it was early in the first, it was still 0-0, so, you know, you're going to get those bounces.
Marty? Yep.